smart and brave. Well, it doesn't really matter, we all end up in the grave. All my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead. I say it, all my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead.
Well, hello, everybody.
And welcome to yet
Another
episode of All My Favorite People Are Dead.
My name's Shannon Butler.
I'm Sue Teresi.
Welcome.
Hello, breathers, and thank you for tuning in to another educational episode where you will learn tons. You will be so smart, your head will be so big, your hat will not fit.
And you could go on Jeopardy.
That's true. And impress your friends.
That's right.
If your friends are still breathing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they won't be impressed. They may not react if they're dead. But we discuss those that are dearly departed.
We do, yep.
That have contributed something. And yeah, that's how we rock and roll.
Okay, yep, that's what we do. That's how we do. I'm looking up this girl's skirt.
There? Shannon is looking up the doll's skirt. And what do you see there, Shannon?
I see beautiful sandals.
Yes. Period appropriate.
Very period appropriate. What is this is interesting.
They are movable. The joints move.
Her eyes are moving. Her head's
The eyes
moving.
open and close.
Look at that.
The hair is weaved.
Look at that. Oh my god.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, so this is a very, very unique doll we got here that we're going to be learning all about today, actually.
So yes, at my age, I still play with dolls.
That's okay.
I collect dolls, I play with dolls. Occasionally they tell me to kill the neighbors, but not too often.
You haven't really done that yet, huh?
Not yet. Not yet. You know, I say no, not today. I'm too tired. I don't know where the shovel is. But we have a doll collection. My daughter started when she was little, and the collection seemed to spread like COVID. One doll, 50 dolls. Yeah,
it's a lot. I've seen your living room.
I'm like a curator. You know, a docent almost. Yeah. People love them or hate them. People come into my living room. I have them all on a etagere, and people come in and they go, "This is great! Oh my gosh!" Or "What the hell? How creepy!" Look at
Well, some of them are kind of great, and then other, because I remember a lot of them from my childhood, like the Gone with the Wind dolls, like that my mom had, and the Wizard of Oz dolls.
We speak for a living. Okay.
I remember I had those as a kid. But then, yes, others are a bit creepy. I'm not going to lie.
I have a collection of, like, porcelain dolls, these kind of dolls. Believe it or not, somewhere else there's paper dolls, the Barbie dolls, and a lot of them are period piece. Yeah. You need I have a Jackie O with the pillbox.
Yeah.
We need a ballerina, and I have dolls from the Orient representing other countries, and one of my favorite doll designers happens to be Madame Alexander.
Okay, this is going to be all new for me because I have no idea who this person is.
So playing with the dolls here, I have several of them on the table.
We got some special little guys.
Those are, believe it or not, McDonald's had little imitation ones. They have little tiny ones that I got that are still in the plastic here.
Yeah.
This one's a soccer player, and they are so detail oriented.
They really are. Yeah.
They're stunning, and they're fun.
This is 2004, huh?
2004 is when McDonald's was giving them out in their Happy Meals.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and
I wasn't collecting, I wasn't doing the Happy Meals at that point.
Oh, you have no idea. I think I drove my family crazy with the Happy Meal toys. There was the Dalmatian and the Disney ones. And, if you didn't have the whole collection. Even last year, I was collecting the Disney 50th anniversary ones.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm still running to McDonald's. I can't eat the meal. And I tell them that. I don't eat burgers. Well, you have to buy the meal. I say, I don't mind buying the meal. Can you put something in that I can actually eat?
Right.
Can you substitute the burger for, something else?
Yeah.
Okay, chicken nuggets? No, that's not going to happen. So I'm buying meals and I'm feeding the homeless with, burgers from McDonald's, which even they don't want.
I mean, I would say I'd take them, but I've decided to swear myself off fast food. So.
Yeah, I'm not a thing. So, but you got to do what you got to do to get your toys.
Okay.
Even though my kids are adults.
Yeah, my brother had a boyfriend who was like really into the whole Pokemon thing.
Oh, okay, that
and
was
like collecting. I mean, he spent tons of money anytime, like, I think he gave me like 5 boxes of like Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah.
Because he was collecting the
That's
Pokemon.
right.
And I'm
You
like, he's like, you like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, right?
Yeah,
I'm like,
you
"Oh,
will buy the
yeah,
product
yeah."
to get the stuff. They know that.
That's what he did.
And I was going, and it's a limited time, and you got to go, and you got to, pull them out of the hands of small children, and so those.
Do you literally knock kids out of the way?
I
like,
do.
"Give it to me."
That's when I wear my big rings, and I go, give me that. You don't need that. I need that. Yeah, you can have the burger. I do. So anyway.
All right, fair enough.
So here is the quote.
Okay.
Dolls live in the heart of children. That is where they truly come alive. Quote from Madame Alexander, that dolls were not just dolls. You're going to see everything about her. She was awesome.
That quote is kind of creepy, though.
Is it? Yeah. Would dolls come alive? Well, you're thinking like Chucky and Annabelle.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, this was way before then,
Okay. All right,
so
fair
that's
enough.
not what she meant.
Okay.
But yeah, it's funny, like when dolls come alive and they jump around the house and they
Okay.
go in the kitchen and get the sharp instruments.
All right.
Yeah, but that's not what she meant. So she was born March 9th, 1895, and died 90. She was old. Born in Brooklyn. I've heard of that place.
Yeah, you know all about
Yeah,
that.
that place sucks.
Oh.
And I'm from Brooklyn, and she moved to the Lower East Side.
Okay.
Okay, she was born as Bertha, but chose a more sophisticated name of Beatrice.
Beatrice.
Beatrice sounds much better than Bertha,
It
apparently.
does, yeah. Bertha's.
Yeah. Okay. Good call there,
Yeah,
Mrs. Alexander.
I like it.
Her mom, Hannah, was born in Russia, came to America to escape pogroms. Pogroms are where crazy anti-Semitic mobs come attacking, burning, looting Jewish communities.
That's messed up.
Yeah, and this was a popular thing. What do you want to do? Oh, let's get drunk. Let's go burn that little village. Okay. Yeah, and this was a big thing in Europe. Yeah, it was a tremendous atrocity.
Yeah.
So Beatrice had 3 sisters, Rose, Florence, and Jean. She had a stepfather. Now, this is where this comes in. So they're here in the Lower East Side.
Okay.
Her stepfather raised her. I think her father died when right before she was born or right when she was a baby. The mother gets remarried to Maurice Alexander. He has a business, which is a doll hospital.
Doll hospital?
Yeah. Okay, so I don't think you've ever been to the American Girl doll store.
No, I have not.
Don't.
I never got it.
Don't.
No.
Better to go down in the plane than go to that store.
Jesus.
Let me tell you, my daughter's birthday is around Hanukkah. So one year she wanted an American Girl doll.
Okay.
And of course you have to go to the store because it's the store. And it's 3 levels of hell. They have a coffee shop where you and your daughter and the doll can have tea with the dolls. And then there was a makeup thing with it. You could do the doll's hair. Then there was a dolly hospital where if the doll gets a broken arm or something, they repair the doll.
Okay.
The rest of it is the doll, like they have like whole like museum quality vignettes of here's the doll and I do love the American Girl doll because they tell a story.
Sure, yeah, I get
They
that.
tell one of them. Her name is Kit. I think that's the one my daughter had. FDR was president.
Okay.
When Kit was born, and she has appropriate clothes. They have a whole thing, but these are big cuddly dolls where you can
yes.
change the clothes
Yes,
and
I've
all
seen
of
them,
those. Yeah.
I just never had it.
But going in that store around the holidays is a fate worse than death. And this was years ago when my daughter's. I'm still traumatized from that experience. It was pretty bad.
Wow.
But Maurice had a doll hospital, which was basically a workshop where he would fix dolls. The workshop contained glass eyes, wax fingers, wigs, stuff like that.
Sounds like the House of Wax.
It does. Well, it was, but
Yeah.
he would repair dolls.
Okay.
Customers would bring in the dolls that needed to be repaired. Now you
Okay.
got to remember, this isn't the days of Barbie, and these are days where dolls were made in France and Germany.
Right.
At that time.
Right.
They were like bone china.
Yeah,
Porcelain,
yeah.
very pretty, very like expensive plates and cups, and very easily broken.
Okay, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So her father learned how to repair the delicate toys before coming to America in Europe.
Okay.
His dolly hospital was the first in the U.S., but he also sold new dolls. So you take your doll, if your doll has a cracked face and your kid is now traumatized, right? You can't go to Walmart and go buy another whatever, or get on Amazon and have it here by tomorrow afternoon. This is her porcelain doll with a cracked face. You're screwed.
So he's got the first one in America. It sounds like he's got
Yeah.
quite the niche here. He must have made a killing.
No, believe it or
No.
not, no. We'll get to that. I
Okay.
mean, yeah, you would think.
Yeah.
But no.
Oh, okay.
She did. So she learns from her father that dolls aren't just dolls. They're not just toys. Dolls can be a special friend and a comfort to a child.
Sure.
Which they are. I remember having dolls as a kid. They are. They really are. Your imagination is the limit.
Absolutely.
And children get attached to teddy bears or blankies or sentimental items, especially a girl with her dolly.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a sister.
Yeah.
Okay. They did have a very swanky clientele because rich people would come from all over to her dad's repair shop.
Okay.
I mean, who else is coming, to fix the broken doll except the ritzy titsy people. Okay. All right. She would help out in the workshop. She learned how to repair them. She would learn how to patch them when they got chipped. She would clean the wigs and wash the clothes. But eventually she would learn to paint.
Oh.
To paint the eyebrows and the lips.
Okay.
She was like an artist in her own right.
That's definitely an art form, yeah.
Yeah. Now, Beatrice was like me, a big, avid, voracious reader. And as a child, she got the idea, what if dolls made the stories come alive? How cool would that be? How cool would that be if I had a doll like the one in front of you, like Cleopatra, right?
Cleopatra.
What would she wear? What would she look like if I had a doll from a novel, from literature, from a period in history? What shoes would she wear? What would go into that? What would that look like?
Yeah.
So one night there comes a rat-tat-tat in the middle of the night, and a neighbor comes knocking at the door, holding his daughter, and the daughter has her broken doll.
Oh.
The china was broken. The child was distraught and freaking out. The father pleaded that the daughter was sick and she wouldn't take her medicine without the doll.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Beatrice and her father stayed up all night helping to repair the doll.
This really is a hospital.
You're not kidding. I don't know if they were HIPAA laws back then. I don't know if the father had to give an HMO or PPO.
Does he take insurance?
But they stayed up all night, to take care of this doll because the kid wouldn't take her medicine without the doll, and they didn't want the kid to get any sicker.
Wow. All right.
The neighbor says that ultimately Beatrice and her father saved that kid's life.
Wow.
Isn't it crazy, right?
That's pretty intense.
That's the magic of dolls and toys right there.
And that's really where she gets
that just sparks something. Yeah.
Okay.
That inspired and sparks her that the thought of having a doll that doesn't break stayed with her for the rest of her life. Like, why are there so many unhappy kids? You get this beautiful doll and then it breaks and now the kid's miserable.
Yeah.
So that stayed with her.
Okay.
She was an excellent student. When 16, she wins a scholarship to Paris for sculpting.
Whoa.
But, can't go because the family is not making a killing. They need her at home to work.
Oh.
So she misses that opportunity. Okay?
Oh, that sucks.
Yep. That's what happened back then.
Yeah.
You didn't go to college. Maybe somebody went, one person went, but you can't go. You can't go. You needed to stay at home and work in the store.
Yeah.
So no sculpting in Paris for you, So did she get frustrated and carry on? No. She put everything on hold. She marries a guy named Philip. Okay, we're up to World War I. Now you can't get dolls or doll parts from overseas. You ain't getting nothing from overseas because of the war.
Right,
okay?
Absolutely.
Now the family is in trouble. Okay, so nobody's making a killing. With necessity being the mother of invention, all right? What am I going to do if I can't get stuff from overseas?
Make it.
Make it yourself.
Exactly.
What do you got? Well, I got cloth, which is readily available and it doesn't break. So she started making like cloth dolls to resemble Red Cross nurses who were taking care of injured soldiers. They stuffed the dolls with wood shavings and cotton, and now this makes Beatrice the doll maker she wanted to be. She's actually like making these rag dolls. I guess, I don't want to say Raggedy Ann or Raggedy Andy, but in that fashion because that's all you had to work with.
Right.
So here she is. Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's all you got. I can't get anything. There's a war going on.
Exactly.
Use what you got. And now she's a doll maker.
All right.
So now she has her first daughter, Mildred, and Beatrice has the idea to sculpt a baby doll.
Okay.
Looks like a baby. All little girls want to be a mommy or whatever, and this is the baby doll thing.
Yeah.
In 1923, Beatrice borrows money from the bank, establishes the Alexander Doll Company. Okay? Did I mention it was 23? How many businesswomen established companies in those days?
Okay? Very rare.
23, and she's making a business for herself. So the sleepy eye look, where you lay the doll back and the eyes open and close. Yeah. The sleepy-eyed look, the eyes open and shut, rooted hair. The hair is like sewn in, it's like rooted in.
Right.
Okay, those were among the novelties that emerged from her factory.
She did that.
These were her ideas.
That's amazing.
Okay, she believed strongly that more than just simple playthings, dolls were tools that would stimulate a child's mind and her imagination and her emotion. Dolls, she said, and I quote, should contribute to a child's understanding of people, of other times and other places. dolls should develop an appreciation of like an appreciation of art and literature in a child. Okay, now how powerful is that? You know, you escape into your music, you escape into your books, you escape it for a child to escape into the doll and have a doll from a period or a piece of literature or art. I think really is what, it's not just a toy. You know,
right.
It really is a credible.
It's an educational tool.
Credible for the growth,
yeah,
and the education of a young child and a developing mind, and learning about other people. Oh, I could play with this doll because look, she looks different than the other dolls.
Yeah,
and what is she wearing, and what goes on in her country, and what did they wear at that time?
I mean, not for nothing, I'm staring at this little Cleopatra doll, and I'm like, no, now I kind of want to read about Egypt.
There you see,
right?
Yeah, yeah. What did they wear, and you know, what did she eat, and how did she look? Yeah. Really sparking the imagination. Very progressive. They would help children relate to others. She would, Beatrice was very progressive in many ways. Although she would never advocate for a mother or father rushing out and buying dolls for boys, she also said she didn't believe that boys would become, quote unquote, effeminate if they played with dolls. Okay? Your son wants to pick up a doll, let him pick up a doll. Yeah. Okay? In fact, dolls play an important role in fostering a boy's natural nurturing instincts. She says, I don't think a parent should ridicule boys when they show affection for his little sister's dolls. I mean, after all, the paternal instinct in men is just as important as the maternal instinct in women.
For sure.
And it wouldn't be a good idea to crush that instinct within a child.
You're right.
Now, how progressive is that for the time? Because I know men now who are like, no, you're not, you know, that he's not, you know, boys play with footballs and girls play with dollies. And I know that mindset now.
Yeah, it still exists, sure.
She didn't have that then.
That's amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
Crazy. Okay. So there were times when she wanted to give up. You think about the Spanish flu, that epidemic.
Yeah.
Think about there was a flood in the factory. The factory flooded.
Where was it located?
The Lower East Side.
Okay.
And then there was, what do you call that? The Great Depression.
Oh, that.
Oh, you remember that? All these things. But she kept going and going. And when something happened, she decided to use it to her advantage.
Okay.
She was so inspired by literature, she started making Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
That was a thing. Followed by Little Women. Little Women were popular in that day.
Sure.
And then she started making dolls like that.
Okay.
Okay, so that led her to stay afloat. Okay, so now the war is over. She's got the cojones to go to FAO Schwarz.
Oh.
Yeah, the swanky
real
store.
Fancy.
Yeah, the real fancy. She didn't go to, like, you know, the equivalent of Caldor, Walmart, or whatever. I don't know what stores were. We had different stores when I was a kid. Mays and Gertz.
Okay.
Yeah, she didn't go to those. She went to FAO Schwarz.
The big one.
The big swanky expensive doll store, toy store.
Toy store, yeah.
She was apprehensive. She says, what if this expensive store doesn't want to do business with a Jewish woman from the Lower East Side? I understand her apprehension.
Sure.
But they loved it. They had never seen anything like this. And now is when she's branded as Madam Alexander.
Oh, so who made that decision?
Okay, so the idea either came from a doll salesman that told her she looked French.
Oh.
You look French. We'll call you Madam Alexander. Or there was a journalist who used that aristocratic title when writing an article about her. So it came from one of those two sources. Yeah.
Okay.
And it stuck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Madam Alexander.
Madam Alexander.
What else would you expect in FAO Schwarz?
I dig it.
She could have called the line, the line by the little Jew from East New York, but that didn't. Yeah,
not going to sell.
Not going to sell as Madam Alexander.
That's good.
All right.
Ring to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now it's after World War II. Now she can get fabrics. She can get plastics. She can create.
Sorry, your cat was staring, just glaring in the distance.
At the other cat.
And I just realized, look,
there's another cat. What do you think she was looking at?
I was like, what is she looking at? I'm like, is there a ghost back there?
Yeah, there is. There's another cat.
Oh, it's a cat.
And he's staring at you.
I know. He's like.
Yeah, they're staring at each other.
Mozzie?
Yeah.
Mozzie.
Yeah. Mozzie, want to come down? No.
Mozzie's like, who the fuck is this person?
What is this?
Why is
Why are the dolls on the table? And
I don't understand
what is going on here? And she's staring at him like, I dare you.
I'm sorry. Your cat
I just
was,
like, what are you looking at? You got me scared.
I was like, what is the cat
Well,
looking at?
obviously I thought it was one of the dolls that jumped off the credenza.
All right. Sorry, so the house is not haunted by Madame Alexander. We're good. Okay.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Moving on.
Okay, so now it's after World War II. She's getting plastic. She's getting fabric. She's finally able to make tons of these storybook characters that have been in her head and commemorative dolls.
So World War II, she's doing plastic?
After World War II ends, you're able to get plastic. You're able to get fabric.
Okay.
Without the wars, embargoes, you're able to get stuff.
Yeah.
Now I can get stuff. I can make everything.
All right.
So they started with plastics. See, if you touch the doll's arm, you can see she's not going to break.
Right.
Trust me, because the cats have thrown this one off the ledge over there, off the shelf. This was why she sits out front, because I know she's not going to break. Because I've had the cats walk across and break a doll, and it is depressing. I mean, I can glue them to an extent, and I push the pieces, and you hear the porcelain
there's
and
no
the
dolly
china.
hospital you can take
I'm
them
sure
to anymore?
there is. I'm not going. I fix it myself. I go to the Dolly Hospital of Elmer's, and I usually get pretty good, because mine are not, I have no children playing with them. It's not traumatic. I don't want to sound nasty. If I can't glue it right, I'll buy another one, because I don't, mine are for showing. And then, and I look at them and I think they're pretty. And if it has a crack, I turn it to a side so you can't see the crack.
Gotcha.
I turn the other profile. But I can understand how devastating it is. Like, let's say you had a porcelain tea set from your grandmother and you break the cup.
That would be devastating.
Yeah. It's a picture of a kid. This is our best friend. The other kid wasn't even going to take her medicine.
You're an asshole, cat.
I don't even know which one. It's probably not her.
Oh, okay.
But, all right. So now we're going to fast forward 1955.
Okay.
4 years before Barbie and Ruth Handler. That's going to be another story.
Okay, yeah.
Beatrice presents a full-figured female fashion doll in heels. Okay. She stated making international dolls in their traditional clothes was what she wanted. She wanted you to see a Polynesian doll, a Japanese doll, everything in their international clothes, so you can see what the hell's going on.
I like it.
I like it too. By 1957, Beatrice is running 3 factories.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
She's busy.
Go Beatrice. Not too shabby.
She's a bad bitch.
She really is. She's doing well.
Yeah.
She is. By the 1980s, her company was releasing more than $1 million a year.
Oh, wow.
FAO Schwarz names her the First Lady of Dolls.
Oh, that's a good title.
Yep. They state the high-quality Alexander dolls were dubbed the Cadillacs of dolldom.
Oh.
Yeah, that was stated by the press as well. Customers stood in line for hours to buy new creations, and retailers sometimes had to limit the number of dolls a shopper could purchase.
Okay.
Figure Black Friday, before Black Friday, because they were limiting when the dolls came, how many you could get. Like Black Friday, I remember the Cabbage Patch craze.
Like toilet paper during the pandemic.
Oh my God, don't get started. But I remember the Cabbage Patch doll. That became, and those dolls were weird looking. They were ripping them out of the arms of kids.
I know, yeah.
This is what happened here with her dolls.
Okay.
People were very desperate to go home with more than one doll, said an associate of Alexander's.
Those are the days before eBay, when you would take that other extra doll and sell it on eBay.
Yeah, that's true.
Before then.
Yeah, so. No, they wanted, like, if you have 2 kids, or you don't want your daughters fighting over them, or you want one for your niece, right? I don't think they would. If I can get one, I'll get. One is good, 5 or better, or I want the whole collection. I don't want just Alice. I want, I don't want just Joe. I want Meg. I want the whole. There's only 4. I want all 4. As a matter of fact, I want 8 because I want one for my niece for the holidays.
Needy.
People are like that.
Yeah.
People would lie, beg, or even try to steal to get more than one Scarlett O'Hara in the day. It was a very amazing thing.
Oh, so was she making the Gone with the Wind dolls?
She made everything. She made whatever was popular in the day. Oh, wow. I don't have an Alexander by her.
Okay.
I only have a few.
Okay.
I have Cleopatra. My Alexanders, I think, are Mattel. My Alexanders are Mattel. My Scarlets are Mattel made.
Okay.
I don't have a. We'll look it up, see how much they are.
Yeah, I'd be curious.
I don't. I have very few Alexanders.
Okay.
Eventually, she becomes the head of her company. She employs more than 1,500 workers. Right? She oversees all the details, from the elegant boxes. Think of Tiffany's. When you see that blue Tiffany logo, when you open that box, there's a happiness in that box, baby.
Yeah.
She did the same thing with the elegant boxes, the smallest brush stroke on the lashes, so it would have like a real appearance.
I mean, I'm looking at her eyes. I'm like, this makeup is.
See?
I mean, that's
real.
Yeah.
Hand painted.
It's very clearly hand painted. Yeah. I like it.
Can you imagine being a little girl and getting, your first doll like that to play with? Or to leave on the mantle or whatever, especially if, you're into, you're reading the Little Women, or you're seeing the books, you're reading the books, you're seeing the film or whatever, and you get, your own Little Women doll.
Yeah.
That's it. That just made your childhood.
Sure it did.
You know, it's crazy. Her thoughts were, if a child, now listen to this, if a child plays with the doll put together poorly, dressed with pins and poor stitching, she's apt to grow up to be a woman who reaches for a pin instead of a needle later in her life.
Oh.
So, basically keep it classy, go for the good stuff.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
I like it.
Madame Alexander excelled at the design of her dolls. I didn't just want to make ordinary dolls with unmeaning, empty smiles on their painted lips and a squeaky way of saying, Mama, after you pinch them. You remember those dolls?
I do. Yeah, creepy a little bit.
She says, I wanted to do dolls with souls. Doll with a soul. Now, I know you and I take it the creepy way, like Annabelle.
I mean, the eyes in this one seem to have,
a soul. Like she's looking back at you and she's real.
She's got big eyes though, like those big eye paintings.
But that's the experience.
Keen was the big eye artist. Yeah,
that's the experience she wanted her children to have with the doll. It's not just the teddy bear.
Okay,
it's more than that. Okay, you have no idea how I've labored over noses and mouths so that they would look real and individual, and to ensure that the dolls' costumes were accurate. She returned time and time again to the New York Public Library in search of authentic representations.
Girl's doing her research.
I'm telling, like, mind you of anybody? Of other times and places and cultures. What did they wear? What did they wear underneath? The underclothes, the sandals, the jewelry. I mean, every detail.
Like, girl, you wearing a bra? What you got on today?
The attention to detail was prodigious. Even the dolls' petticoats had lace. I mean, this was elaborate. Nothing was overlooked. She made dolls depicting people from history, right? Like Cleopatra. Here you go. She came to life.
Yeah.
For a little kid who's studying about ancient Egypt, you look at this doll or the Pinocchio, from literature.
Yeah.
I'm making American dolls for American children. So now Madame Alexander fan clubs are popping up. She becomes one of the most successful businesswomen of our time. And although she never lost sight of those less fortunate than her, she was a very committed Zionist for Israel. She never forgot her roots.
Okay.
You don't forget where you come from.
Sure.
As a pioneering businesswoman and as a generous philanthropist, Alexander demonstrated to the world at large what a woman can do with drive, creativity, ambition, and a benevolent heart. What you could all accomplish with that.
Get it, Beatrice.
Despite her progressive views, Alexander's relationship to feminism was very complex. Now listen to this.
Really?
She was really ahead of her time. As a strong, outspoken, self-sufficient woman, she clearly did not conform to traditional ideas about women's roles and women's characteristics. She encouraged her female employees to be self-reliant. And even in these early years, brought them to Margaret Sanger. Remember her? Margaret Sanger's clinic for checkups and birth control.
Oh, wow.
You're working here for me? We'll take care of you. It was like healthcare, like getting birth control, getting ways to protect yourself, keeping yourself healthy. She was doing that with her employees back then.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. According to her secretary, Madame Alexander was the original feminist. She was doing a man's job when the world wasn't always accepting and approving of strong, independent women.
That's for sure. Still
not. Oh,
still not.
Jinx. Yell me a beer. She always stayed true. Her father left an impression about giving back, which is that is a big Jew thing to give back. We believe that when the world was created, it's a little broken and it's up to us to repair it. Yeah. We have that concept of repairing the world, and she generously contributed to educational institutes. She became one of the founders of the Women's League of Israel. She died at the age of 95 and 90. 95, wow. Yeah.
That's a good long life, yeah.
The Alexander Doll Company carries on her legacy, making beautiful, unbreakable dolls that children and adults alike will cherish forever. I mean, I love my dolls.
Yeah.
I sit in that room. That room has no TV. It has dolls and stuff, and I read in that room, and I go in there, or I play with the cats, or whatever, and I sit there, and I look up at the dolls, and I'm like, wow. And, sometimes you see something that you haven't seen in a while, because I have so many, I have to, rotate them front to back. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I'll dig this one out, and I'm like, wow, what story is she telling? Let's, I have, an old bride, I have an old phone operator with that old phone,
cool.
that would, I have certain ones. I have one, it's called The First Day of School, and it's a kid carrying the books in a belt over I got that for my daughter on her first day of kindergarten.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah. So, I always remember when I look at that doll, it brings back that memory for me. And then some I got, like, for my daughter for her birthday. And then some are humongous. I don't know where I found the big ones.
Oh,
up on top.
Yeah.
And then even the Barbie ones.
Yeah.
If I go to a yard sale or a flea or something, I'm like, what do you got? I got the Cher doll. But I also have my original one with the Bob Mackie outfits from the 70s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I Dream a Genie. That was a big thing when I was a kid. And some of them are they really bring you back. I think Nostalgic Toy, there was a toy show on one of the channels. Nostalgic toys really bring you back to a period of your childhood.
Oh, for sure. Like when I came in here, the first time I came to your house and I saw the Wizard of Oz dolls there, I was immediately taken back to my childhood when I would have them all lined up on this piano that we had in the house. I don't even know if we really even played it, but it was just I had them all. I had Dorothy, and I had I remember playing with Glinda's the Good Witch's pink dress because I just loved it. And it just immediately brings me back. And I was like, yeah.
Like when you smell a fragrance or something, all of a sudden it brings you back. It teleports you to another time. Yeah. I was I don't know, must have been Stormville or one of them, and they have all the old antique stuff in the back.
Yes, I
you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And there was a thing of old toys. Mm-hmm. And I'm walking by and I happened to see the Barbie camper.
Oh, yeah.
Which my friend and I had. She had the airplane. I had the camper. I had this little camper thing. I stopped, and it was pretty much the one I had as a kid.
Aww.
So, of course, I have to stop, and I have to open it, and I have to play with it, and there were the pieces. And all of a sudden, I was in another time frame. Yeah. I don't know. Scotty beamed me up. I was not there.
You were a little kid again.
I was a little kid again, playing with these clothes. And I know the difference between my daughter's Barbie clothes and mine, because hers have Velcro and mine have snaps.
Oh,
I kept a lot of my stuff. Yeah, mine have snaps, and they had all that there. And I look over and there's a guy standing there, also wrapped up in his own world. Uh-huh. He had a GI Joe. He was, and I can look in his face, and he and I gave a secret smile to each other, I feel you. Yes,
stepping back in time.
He stepped into a portal, picking up that doll, like I did, picking up that camper. And that's probably what Beatrice Alexander wanted children to have with these dolls.
To continue on into your...
You could cherish this forever.
Yeah.
I dust it off periodically, and I try to keep the cats away from them. And they do. I mean, it really... Every picture tells a story, right?
Yeah.
Every doll tells a story.
So here's a question. What's the most valuable Madame Alexander doll? Do we know?
That I don't know. I never buy dolls based on value. I'm not that type of collector.
Okay.
Like some people collect, Yadro or the other chocolate, with a brand. I pick up things that I think appeal to me. I'm pretty sure they're not. I wouldn't know if an old Barbie from the 50s has more value than a Madame Alexander from the 50s or so. I don't know anything about value.
Okay.
I know that I saw this and the price was right.
And you liked it.
And I think I like Egyptology. I like the doll. I like the quality of the doll. I picked it up somewhere. I never went out and said, I got to go buy a doll today.
Right.
You get what you get very rarely. Yeah. Unless I'm starting a collection where I have 2 and I need the third to complete the collection.
Yeah.
I've never, I don't know what they're worth. I really don't.
Okay.
I never buy them like that based on, I'm sure if I looked it up on eBay and I ran a search, I could tell you, she's worth $10, $110.
Right.
I don't think I'm going to sell my collection and, buy a mansion with it. But I don't know. I really don't know what they're worth. I don't know. Most people have things in their house. You don't know what it's worth. Right. I don't know. I have certain things I really don't know what they're worth. I never looked into it.
Do you know which is the most popular Madame Alexander doll that she ever made? Was there one that everybody wanted more than anything?
I think it changed over time. Scarlet was popular during the Scarlet time.
Okay.
I think Princess Di was popular at that time. I think it goes according to what was popular in the day because like anything else, it reflects what's going on in the day.
Okay.
I don't know what the most popular Barbie would be of all time.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know those things. I never buy them based on that.
Okay.
I just buy things because they make me happy. My dolls make me happy.
Yeah.
And they made my daughter happy. growing up.
Yeah.
Because we started the collection when she was little. And I was like, these are the dolls that we're not going to play with their hair or get them undressed, change. These are the dolls that we just look at and we talk about. Because,
Okay.
the Barbies were all thrown in the case and
That's
we changed
tough
the
for a kid
clothes.
to do, too.
But she
That's
did.
tough.
She must have been about 5 or 6 when we started the collection. And that's how I knew. And we would just sit there like before bed and read a bedtime story. And then I said, well, what do you think she's thinking? Or give her a name if she didn't have a name.
Oh.
And, based on the way she's dressed, where do you think she's going? And we did that all throughout my daughter's childhood. And now there's, you can see it. I'm telling you, it's spread like wildfire.
Yeah.
But it's a statement piece. People
Yeah.
come into my house and either they love it, they go, oh, wow.
Yes.
Or they go, what the hell? What the
you-
hell? This is creepy crap. What's wrong with you?
You're a crazy cat woman and a crazy doll woman. Okay.
And they expect Chucky or Annabelle or one of those, what's the new one? Megan? What's the new doll?
Oh, Megan.
They,
yeah.
they expect me to have stuff like that in the collection, which I do not.
You really should, though, because
don't-
that's your personality.
I know,
You love the creepy.
but that's a different side. That's not my
Okay.
doll
It
side.
doesn't blend in with the dolls. All right.
Yeah, having a Chucky doll in the middle with the Madame Alexanders and the Scarlet O'Haras.
Not your thing. No.
Just not going to happen.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
But enough about my idiosyncratic behavior.
No, that was great. I learned something entirely new. And go, Madame Alexander.
She was fabulous. So
Beatrice.
there you go. So
Yeah.
and that's my story.
I like it. All right.
So you and I can play with dolls later. We can go back and play with our dolls.
Yay! Let's do it.
I'm going to bust out all the Barbies I think I have in
Okay.
the basement somewhere.
Do you know how many dolls you have in your
No.
entire collection?
No.
It's got to be over 100.
You think, right? It's got to be
Gotta
100.
be.
Yeah, at least.
least.
I don't know. I should have counted. I had to move them when we had the floors redone.
I gotta move
I had to move them.
Yeah.
And you should have seen me like going and buying like bubble wrap and and telling the floor, don't you touch my dolls. Lady, I'll move your dolls. No, don't you touch my dolls.
No.
No, they're getting wrapped in bubble wrap like, they're, because they're very breakable. Yeah, I probably have at least 90.
It's gotta be.
We'll count them one day.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
All right.
All right. On that note, I hope you guys learned something new today.
Right. Go
I
out
did.
and look for a doll or buy a doll for a kid that you love.
There you go.
And see if you can get yourself a Madame Alexander.
All right.
And that is why she is one of my favorite gone but never forgotten people.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I like it. Good choice.
All right, I'm going to go and play with my dolls now.
Okay. All right,
right,
folks.
that's it. Well-
Breathers.
Keep on breathing.
Go play with your dolls.
Play with your dolls. Go relive your childhood.
Yeah,
or
nostalgia.
Or try to embellish the childhood of someone who's still a kid
All right.
and add to their childhood.
Sounds good.
And that's all I got.
Well, thank you for listening to another
Episode of All My Favorite People Are Dead. Keep on
Bye,
breathing.
breathers.
People are dead. I say